It was supposed to be over between us. Abraham and I had burned too brightly, too recklessly, and the flames left nothing but scars. Yet even after months apart, I never stopped feeling the phantom weight of him beside me at night. His laugh echoing in my head, his touch carved into my skin. I thought I was strong enough to stay away, until the night he showed up at my door, rain dripping off his jacket, eyes begging me to let him in. And when he whispered he missed me, I already knew resistance was useless. The storm outside was relentless, lightning flashing through the wide windows of my loft apartment. I had been trying to distract myself with half-read books and a bottle of wine, but nothing dulled the ache that always seemed to resurface at night. That's when the knock came, soft at first, then urgent. My chest tightened. I didn't need to look to know who it was. Abraham, what would you do if the man who broke you came back, whispering he missed you? I opened the door, and there he was, drenched, trembling slightly, his green shirt clinging to his chest. His dark blonde hair was plastered to his forehead, and his gray eyes carried the same storm that raged outside. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then, with a voice low and hoarse, he said, "I missed you." My knees nearly buckled at those words. Sometimes, the words you long to hear are the very ones that undo you. Abraham, I managed, my throat dry. You shouldn't be here. He stepped closer, water dripping onto the floor. I had to see you. I can't sleep without you. I can't breathe without you. His hands twitched at his sides, like he wanted to reach for me, but didn't dare. The distance between us felt like fire, burning, demanding, inevitable. What if the one person who shattered you was the only one who made you whole? I should have told him to leave. I should have reminded him of the fights, the tears, the long nights I spent cursing his name. Instead, I stepped aside, letting him in. He moved past me, his scent, rain, cedar, and something uniquely his, slipping into my lungs like oxygen I'd been deprived of for too long. My chest ached with both fury and longing. Love is a war, and sometimes letting them in is surrender. Abraham stood in the center of my apartment, dripping onto the hardwood floors, his eyes scanning everything like he was trying to remember it all. "It feels like nothing's changed," he said softly, "like I was just here yesterday." His gaze landed on me, and his voice cracked. "God, I've missed you." I swallowed hard, my body already betraying me. "You left, Abraham. You walked away." His jaw tightened. I was scared. I thought I was protecting you. But every day without you was hell. Is missing someone enough reason to let them back into your world? He stepped closer, and I could feel the heat radiating from his body, despite the dampness of his clothes. My fists clenched at my sides, torn between pushing him away and pulling him against me. He must have seen the battle in my eyes, because he whispered, "I know I don't deserve it, but can I hold you?" The plea in his voice cracked my resolve. Slowly, almost against my will, I nodded. Sometimes, surrender feels sweeter than resistance. The moment his arms wrapped around me, the world tilted. His chest pressed against mine, his breath hot against my neck. I hadn't realized how starved I was for his touch until it was there again, strong, familiar, addictive. I gripped the back of his soaked shirt, pulling him closer, hating myself for needing him this badly. "Say it again," I whispered, my lips near his ear. His arms tightened. "I missed you. What if the words that heal you are also the ones that destroy you?" We stood like that for what felt like forever, thunder shaking the glass around us. When he finally pulled back, his eyes searched mine desperately, as though he was asking for permission. My breath came in shallow bursts, my heart a drum in my chest. Without thinking, I touched his cheek, tracing the stubble that rasped under my fingertips. His lips parted. "I shouldn't, but I can't stay away from you." And before I could answer, Abraham leaned down, his lips brushing mine in a trembling, dangerous kiss. What happens when desire is stronger than fear? The kiss was hesitant at first, as if he feared I would pull away. But when I didn't, when my lips pressed back against his with equal desperation, it deepened. Abraham's hand slid to the back of my neck, anchoring me, pulling me closer until there was no space left between us. I could taste the rain on his lips, sharp and sweet, and it was maddening. Every ounce of restraint I'd built over months crumbled in an instant. What if the kiss you feared most was the one that set you free? I broke away, breathless, but his forehead stayed pressed to mine. "We can't do this," I whispered, though my hand still clung to him. His eyes, stormy and vulnerable, locked onto mine. "Then why aren't you letting go?" he asked. I had no answer, only silence that screamed the truth louder than words. Abraham's thumb brushed along my jawline, tender and possessive. "I need you," he murmured, and my pulse thundered in response. His voice wasn't a plea this time. It was a confession. Sometimes the truth is louder in silence than in words. I pulled him toward the bedroom, my body moving before my mind could stop me. Each step was electric, each breath heavy with anticipation. By the time we reached the bed, Abraham's shirt clung to his body like a second skin. I tugged at the damp fabric, peeling it off, and he did the same with mine. The storm outside howled, but the only thing I could feel was his warmth against me, solid and real. What a giving it meant risking everything, but holding back meant losing even more. We collapsed onto the mattress, his body hovering above mine, muscles tense with restraint. Abraham looked down at me, eyes flickering with guilt and hunger. "Tell me to stop and I will," he whispered. I could feel his heart racing against my chest. But I didn't want him to stop. Not this time. Instead, I cupped his face and pulled him into another kiss. Harder, fiercer, the kind of kiss that erased every boundary. His hands roamed carefully, reverently, as if he was memorizing me all over again. Is love wrong if it feels more right than anything else? Abraham. I whispered his name like it was both a warning and a prayer. He groaned softly, burying his face into my neck, his stubble scraping against my skin in a way that sent shivers racing through me. His arms tightened around me, crushing me against him as if he feared I would vanish. "I tried to move on," he confessed against my skin. "But no one else was you. No one else ever will be." My throat constricted. Hearing those words was both salvation and damnation. What if your greatest weakness was also your greatest salvation? I threaded my fingers through his damp hair, tugging him back so I could meet his eyes. "Then don't run again," I said firmly, my voice trembling with both command and plea. "If you leave this time, don't come back." His eyes widened, gray storms swirling with pain and promise. "I won't," he vowed, and I believed him, because I needed to. Our lips crashed again, hungry, unrelenting, our bodies tangled together in heat and need that drowned out everything else. When love becomes a vow, do you dare believe it will last? The storm outside faded into background noise, as if the world had shrunk to just the two of us. His touch grew bolder, yet still carried a reverence that made my chest ache. Abraham kissed me like he was trying to stitch every broken piece of me back together, and I let him, even though I knew he was the one who'd broken them in the first place. Every movement, every breath, felt like surrender and victory all at once. What if healing only came from the same hands that caused the scars? At some point, words became useless. There was only touch, heat, and the sound of our breathing tangling in the air. Time lost its meaning as we gave into each other fully, unapologetically. It wasn't perfect. It was messy, raw, desperate, but it was real. And for the first time in months, I felt alive again. When it was over, Abraham held me tightly, his face buried against my chest. His whisper was so soft I almost didn't hear it. "I'm never letting you go again." And what if, for once, you finally believed him?